This man appears as a respected priest, yet he conceals a severed hand within his robes. He clutches it even in sleep, for this relic belongs to the corrupted mother herself. Meet Manak. 5 years ago, a simple gamer was sucked into this dark fantasy world. As the corrupted mother's sole devotee, he gained an undying, immortal cheat body. Decapitation is a mere scratch. Yet this immortality cost him his entire sense of taste. 5 years of gathering holy power led him to a quest involving missing farmers. Joining a caravan, he encounters a talkative blonde companion named Pyr along the way. The hand whispers of slaughter for holy power. But their divinity is pitifully low. Suddenly, an ambush. Arrows rain down as the caravan is caught completely off guard. Saving Pyr costs Manak dearly as an arrow pierces his body, downing him instantly. But death is a joke. He rises, blade flashing toward the hidden bandit's location. Every swing claims a soul. The bandit leader, Scarface, finally steps out to fight. The leader offers a deal, but Manak's chilling smile tells a much different story. Stop your crimes and I might be gentle. Manak mocks the desperate, foolish thug. Enraged, the bandit orders a backstab. An arrow pierces Manak's skull directly from behind. They laugh, thinking the priest is dead, but the real nightmare is just beginning. Shock freezes them as Manak stands, head pierced, like a literal god of death. Surprised? It is not every day you see a man survive a headshot, is it? Mercy is over. Manak's eyes glow with a terrifying divine killing intent for them. Terrified, the leader screams for a volley of arrows to stop this rising monster. No matter how many arrows hit, the immortal priest marches forward, completely unfazed. He prays for the corrupted mother's power, turning the arrogant bandits into mere prey. They try to flee the monster, but a mysterious, invisible wall seals their fate. This is the corrupted sanctuary, a skill where no enemy can ever hope to escape. Manak rejoices, ready to offer their divinity as a sacrifice to his dark goddess. A colossal beast summoned from the shadows crushes the bandit leader into bloody pulp. The survivors beg through tears, but Manak's smile is colder than the winter snow. Do as you wish with them, he tells the beast, except for their heads. Screams fade into chilling silence. Only Manak remains in the frozen, lonely wasteland. He refuses to harvest the bodies, fearing the guild's investigation into their sudden disappearance. Discovering Pyr still breathes, Manak decides to play the hero for future reputation points. Elsewhere, a blue-haired girl speaks of a prophecy and a fated, legendary encounter. 10 years ago, the prophecy foretold the end carrying pieces of a new life. That night, Manak returns to the city to treat the wounded and unconscious Pyr. He reports to the guild, handing over bandit heads to the manager, Aaron, for gold. Aaron offers her place for the night, sparking the jealous hand's hidden, divine fury. It turns out to be just the guild lounge, much to the hand's relief. Morning comes, and Aaron announces that the local lord demands an urgent, private audience. The severed hand flips the bird as Manak wonders about the lord's true intent. The mercenary captain killed yesterday was the lord's own brother, Aaron quietly explains. Manak is led into the lord's private chamber to discuss the tragic, sudden loss. You saw my brother's final moments? The lord asks with a heavy, searching gaze. Manak smiles, for the corrupted mother has revealed the lord's true, foul, demonic identity. How does it feel, demon? Playing human must be quite a tedious task indeed. The lord of this land is no man, but a monster wearing a mask. Demons are barred from our realm, forced to bind souls just to exist. Spirits crave life, yet divine wrath hunts them across every era. Thus, history was forged in the blood of endless holy crusades. Exposed, the Lord remains unfazed as Manak reveals his dark origins. A priest of the corrupt mother, a lineage thought long since extinct, the Lord demands the truth behind the captain's death, offering gold. With a sinister smirk, Manak agrees to entertain the monster's curiosity. Pocketing heavy gold, our protagonist departs the mansion with cold intent. Back at the guild, the Holy Church's elite have already arrived. Manak's eyes widen. The corrupt mother senses a divine relic nearby. The scarred Avis steps forward, leading this band of holy warriors. Alongside the horned Konu and Patina, Manak masks his true divinity. Posing as a humble priest, he plots to seize their holy artifacts. But absorbing divine light risks leaking his own abyssal, corrupt mana. The group departs for the mansion, leaving Manak to his schemes. Alone with Aaron, her playful flirting begins to test his patience. Sensing trouble, Manak makes a swift exit before things get heated. Outside, he finds Kanu lingering, separated from his holy comrades. Insecure of his appearance, the giant stays back, fearing the Lord's judgment. Their mission follows a decade-old prophecy of a coming apocalypse. Avis possesses a relic capable of unmasking any demon's true form. Suddenly, a massive explosion rocks the mansion, shattering the silence. The Lord's disguise has failed. The real battle has finally begun. Ignoring the chaos, Manak's only priority is finding the injured PE. Amidst crumbling walls, he secures her, ready to flee the carnage. The clash between priest and demon turns the city into rubble. He won't let his investment die in this god-forsaken disaster. With Aaron clinging tight, Manak prepares for a legendary escape. Crushing the earth beneath him, he soars through the smoking ruins. Guided to a hidden passage, they reach the town's edge safely. After securing the survivors, Manak dives back into the hellish fray. He finds Konu broken and bleeding, the battle's cost clearly visible. The giant is fading fast, his life force trickling into dust. Patina has fallen. Only one weapon can slay this monstrous lord. The pure white sword must pierce the demon's brain to kill. Konu breathes his last, leaving his strength to the shadows. Mother, I claim this tithe. 100 holy power acquired. Avis struggles alone, unable to land the killing blow on the beast. As Avis falls, Manak ignores the man and loots the relic. While heroes die, the cheat player begins his ultimate power-up. Offering 10,000 holy power, the next seal finally shatters. Abyssal tattoos erupt across his skin, overflowing with raw, divine energy. His strength scales infinitely, turning the priest into a living god. Avis perishes, his essence becoming fuel for Manak's absolute ascension. The demon rampages on, unaware that a true predator has awakened. The Holy Church's teachings were a lie. This beast should have stopped, but its madness only intensifies. This isn't just animal instinct, something far more sinister drives these creatures since they gained demonic power. Manak lunged forward, his speed a blur. The demon lashed out, but he was already gone. He scaled the beast's head, dodging a lethal counterspin. Then, the first sign of the heavy price appeared. Manak coughed crimson. The script of corruption was a divine cheat, but it demanded his very life. His body was rotting from within. Every second of this godlike power brought him closer to total collapse. Time was running out. With one final, desperate burst, he reclaimed his position atop the demon's skull. He drove the white sword deep into its brain. In an instant, the demonic presence vanished into ash. Beneath the rubble lay the Lord, broken and missing limbs. He called Manak a literal godsend. It is the sword's power, not mine, Manak replied. But he knew its value far exceeded gold. 2 gold coins, a small price for a miracle. Once the dust settled, the Lord proclaimed the truth. Manak was hailed as the demon-slaying priest. The tutorial stage was over. A legend was being born, but a twist remained. The Lord was the demon from before, now hiding behind masterfully crafted wooden prosthetics. To walk among humans again, he paid a heavy price. Not just limbs, but his very vitality. His hair fell like autumn leaves. Soon, the great Lord would be nothing more than a bald old man. A new request arrived. A high-ranking client was specifically hunting for the demon slayer who saved the city. They believed Manak was the perfect choice for a mission that would change the server's power balance. The goal: ancient kingdom relics. The reward: 5 bars of pure gold and a legendary artifact. With half paid up front, the path to world domination was clear. These relics held the continent's lost secrets. Long ago, an empire united the world by ending the era of mad mages with their superior technology. Today, those ancient tools are reborn as relics, the ultimate items for any top-tier player or warrior. To possess a relic is to possess a cheat. They are the rarest treasures in this scaling world. Manak met his team. The leader, 𝒎𝒓𝒕𝒂𝒍, was the son of a legendary Black Wolf commander. Then there was Tunisia, a mysterious mage who held the map to the ancient empire's hidden heart. Together with 𝒎𝒂𝒐𝒓𝒕𝒂𝒍, a powerful warrior of the One-Horned tribe, they set out for the ruins. Glad to meet the demon slayer, 𝒎𝒂𝒑 roared. Manak just smiled. The real climb had just begun. 2 days of travel lay ahead, a journey through dangerous forests to reach the gateway of history. Under the starlight, 𝒎𝒑𝒏 and Manak shared a moment. The camaraderie of future legends was forming. Is there a woman in your life? 𝒎𝒏 asked. Manak admitted his heart was still unclaimed. His type? Simple. A woman who truly wanted to stand by his side through the chaos. 𝒎𝒏 agreed. In this world of monsters, a sincere heart is the only thing that matters. Of course, 𝒎𝒏 also admitted a preference for, well, generous physical charms. Typical male lead banter. Manak shook his head. His mother warned him about bad company, but this duo was perfect. Morning revealed the ancient gate. To enter the ruins of the lost empire, they needed a key. The process was complex. Find coordinates, read the ancient script, and turn the key with precision. One wrong move or a mistranslation, and the party would be erased by ancient defense systems. Usually, only high-level mages could decipher these dead languages. They were considered irreplaceable assets, but there was an exception. As a player, Manhwa possessed a hidden cheat. The translation system. He kept his silence. In this server, revealing your ultimate cards too early is a death sentence. They reached the inner sanctum. A massive door demanded imperial blood to grant safe passage. None of them possessed royal lineage. The system registered them as intruders, and the slaughter began. 𝒎𝒐𝒃𝒍 charged like a tank, his battle axe reaping through waves of monsters with sheer brute force. Tunisia unleashed a storm of magical damage, clearing the area with rapid-fire spells from the backline. Manhwa joined the fray, his blade dancing through the final wave of guardians like a reaper. A monster lunged for his back, but 𝒎𝒏𝒻's arrow was faster. The team was perfectly synchronized. Manhwa praises 𝒎𝒏𝒻's god-tier archery skills. 𝒎𝒏𝒻 reveals he has been a master marksman since his early childhood. Years of relentless training made him a legend. After clearing the mobs, Tunis suddenly pressures the party to move. 𝒎𝒏𝒃 snaps at the constant rushing. Why keep pushing when our stamina is completely depleted, and we need rest? You mages just chant spells from the back, but warriors like me and Manhwa are physically exhausted right now. Pushing forward without a break is suicide. However, Tunis argues that reaching the ruins center quickly is our priority. Stop wasting time. Tunis claims she is being efficient, but 𝒎𝒏𝒃 suspects she is just playing a dangerous game. Tension fills the air. To prevent a brawl, 𝒎𝒏𝒻 decides the group will take a short, uneasy rest together. In this world, mages are arrogant elites with massive egos. Most are nothing but cold and entitled powermongers. Becoming a mage is decided at birth by pure talent. They are the chosen ones, destined for supreme magical authority. Manhwa awakens within them at a certain age. Suddenly, forbidden ancient knowledge floods their minds like a rising tide. They master ancient spells that bend reality and break the laws of nature with a single, devastating mental command. This overwhelming knowledge makes them narrow-minded. Naturally, they despise learning anything new or listening to others. Consequently, most mages grow into stubborn, ignorant fools. Their entire world revolves solely around their own inflated egos. They view everyone else as expendable tools. To them, the lives of common warriors mean absolutely nothing at all. Among all the arrogant mages Manhwa has met, Tunis was actually considered one of the most well-behaved ones. Once the break ends, they dive deeper. But before they can move, the heavy exit door suddenly slams shut. Space ripples as a dark void opens. A massive, stone-clad golem crawls out from the abyss to hunt them. Manhwa knew it. The previous monsters were too weak for these ruins. The real boss has finally appeared now. Tunis steps up, chanting ancient runes. She summons a massive boulder above the golem to crush it into dust. But the golem is faster. A beam of destruction shoots from its eyes, vaporizing her spell in an instant. Before Tunis can even react, the titan lunges. One heavy strike, and the mage is sent to the afterlife. 𝒎𝒃𝒃 is next. The golem smashes him into the wall with a single, overwhelming blow. The squad is decimated. Within seconds, 2 members are gone. Only Manhwa and 𝒎𝒏𝒻 remain in the face of this absolute stone monster. Manhwa looks at 𝒎𝒏𝒻. Do you want to live? When 𝒎𝒏𝒻 says yes, Manhwa knocks him out cold instantly. No time for prayers. Manhwa summons a 4-armed corrupted giant to descend and engage the golem in mortal combat. As the giants clash, Manhwa quickly harvests the holy power from his fallen comrades. He leaves nothing to waste. After moving 𝒎𝒏𝒻 to a safe zone, Manhwa watches the battle. These 2 titans are locked in a stalemate. This will take too long. Manhwa decides to intervene, his face glowing with mysterious, glowing power-scaling tattoos. The golem's weakness is the blue stone on its head. Manhwa coordinates with his summon to strike the core. With a swift blade strike, he shatters the stone. Without its energy source, the golem crumbles into lifeless rock. But the nightmare is just beginning. 3 more black holes open, and 3 massive golems emerge from the dark. Even Manhwa breaks a sweat. How many of these immortal guardians are hiding in this cursed ancient server room? Somehow, Manhwa escapes the horde and drags 𝒎𝒏𝒻 through the next gate. 𝒎𝒏𝒻 wakes up, mourning his lost friends. Manhwa tells him not to grieve. In that hell, no one could have saved them. They were just mercenaries. They knew the risks of this mission. 𝒎𝒏𝒻 stops crying and thanks Manhwa for saving his life from certain death. Manhwa hides the truth. He actually used his 4-armed summon as a sacrificial meat shield to escape the golems. He opened the door and kicked 𝒎𝒏𝒻 inside while his summon was being pummeled by the stone horde's fury. Since the summon can vanish anytime, Manhwa isn't worried. They finally reach the heart of the ancient hidden ruins. The final door opens to reveal legendary treasures. 𝒎𝒏𝒻 asks Manhwa if he can have one specific golden necklace. He promises Manhwa a massive reward in exchange. This artifact is known as the legendary Bloodline Sight Relic. Our protagonist ruthlessly ditches his summon, leaving the four-armed beast as bait while he seizes the opening. He slips inside with Carmen. Though the summon is getting pulverized, its instant recall makes the risk zero. After trekking through the shadows, the duo finally reaches the heart of the ruins. The ultimate prize awaits. The gates swing open to reveal legendary treasures. Carmen spots a unique necklace and begs for the protagonist's mercy. He offers a massive bounty for the Bloodline Vision relic. Our hero agrees, already planning his next evolution. To activate the ritual, drop your blood onto this ring while focusing on the lost bloodline you seek. It consumes your life force to pinpoint the direction of your kin. Carmen's heart raced with anticipation. Manhwa agreed to the deal, but his price was the legendary sword hidden within the ancient ruins. While resting by the crackling fire, Carmen turned to the priest, seeking a sacred blessing for their journey. Without hesitation, Manhwa consented. Carmen prayed that the goddess would guide them through the coming shadows. His words triggered a divine rage. No goddess dwelled here, only the mother of corruption's dark authority. As blood touched the artifact, the truth was revealed. His mother was alive, igniting a spark of hope. Priest Ma, I have one final request. I wish to walk this path with you much longer. Since you travel west, let us visit the capital. I shall reward your service with treasures there. I will cover every expense for this journey. Manhwa liked the offer but hid his true intent. The priest remained cold and silent, testing his companion's resolve. He waited until Carmen's patience nearly snapped. He finally gave a reluctant nod. The next day, Carmen informed manager Erin of his sudden departure. She fumed with rage. After all she had done, this was how he treated a lady of standing? I moved mountains to secure this for you so quickly. Do you realize how rare this is? Behold the silver rank mercenary badge. After parting ways, Manhwa visited the Lord's manor once more. Stress had taken its toll on the old man, leaving him completely bald and shining like a mirror. The mission was complete. Manhwa announced his next destination. The imperial capital, heart of the world. The Lord's coffers were empty from town repairs, leaving him without a single gold coin to spare. Instead, he offered a recommendation letter. My allies in the capital shall assist you if danger strikes. But beware, they are difficult people. Use this favor only when your life is truly on the line. Days passed as the duo trekked toward the capital. Their next stop was the frozen town of Kenton. The hand despised Carmen, yet Manhwa saw the spark of a rare 3.5-finger talent. Recruiting him would yield 10,000 holy power. He was a monster in the making, destined for greatness. While marching through the endless snow, Manhwa's senses flared. Something predatory was closing in fast. Steel flashed in an instant. A massive creature erupted from the frost. A gargantuan snow spider had emerged. Carmen recognized the beast immediately. With perfect synergy, the two warriors tore the monster apart in seconds. Meanwhile, in the town of Gui, the Lord greeted a mysterious lady with hair like the deep ocean. The blue flame of the fire sect had arrived. She presented a portrait, her eyes cold and piercing. The man in the sketch was unmistakably Manhwa. Though crudely drawn, his aura was impossible to miss. Who is this man that a legend like you seeks him personally? The Lord asked with trembling breath. It is a private matter. Sensing danger, the Lord feigned ignorance, claiming he had never seen the youth. He knew she brought trouble, but he trusted the priest's uncanny ability to survive any hellish storm. Back in the wild, Carmen was busy harvesting the remains. Manhwa watched him with curious confusion. This paralyzing venom is a lethal asset for our arrows. It is worth its weight in gold, priest. Half a day later, they reached the gates of Kenton. The sentries stared at them as if seeing ghosts. How did you survive the path? The road to this town has been a graveyard for 3 days. A plague of monsters has severed our connection. Not a single soul has passed through the blockade. When we scavenge the attack sites, there is nothing left. No bodies, no blood, not even a fragment. You mean the snow spider's victims? If so, this defies all logic of the natural world. Those beasts only drain the blood, leaving husks behind. This complete disappearance signals something far darker. News of the corpse priest's arrival spread fast. The Lord immediately summoned them to a grand feast. During the banquet, the grim truth surfaced. This wasn't just monsters, it was a strike by evil cultists. At least 4 wicked sects are pulling the strings. They worship ancient spirits and seek total chaos. They have coordinated to isolate Kenton, turning this town into a cage far from any help. We have enough rations for now, and the soldiers remain brave, but the shadow is closing in. Everything went south instantly. Isolation turned the city into a death trap. The world remains oblivious. We need a suicide squad to breach this nightmare. a desperate gamble for survival. That's exactly where a protagonist belongs. Look at this rare loot, an artifact found only in the western deserts. A legendary find in this hellhole. Now, weapon maintenance is the least of our worries. Manhwa sensed the shifting tides. The true main quest was finally awakening. 4 dark cults joining forces. The evil gods are making their move. It's all just divine propaganda. Labels used by holy gods to suppress their rivals. But make no mistake, these cultists are nothing but absolute lunatics. They usually thrive on chaos. Collaboration is never in their twisted vocabulary. Something smells fishy here. A shadow is pulling the strings from behind. A coordinated siege on Kenton? This breaks every rule of the game. The squad charges into the abyss. Endless waves of monsters swarm their position. Go, I'll draw them away. Manhwa stays behind to bait the horde. At this rate, we're all dead. Just bring reinforcements back in time. He leaps into the fray. A sea of monsters hungers for his flesh. Show yourselves, you cowards. His blade carves a path through the darkness. He infiltrates the spider's lair. The air is heavy with the scent of rot. Human husks hang like trophies. Most are still breathing inside their cocoons. This isn't a larder. It's a nursery for the next generation of horrors. Deep in the frozen cavern, the Spider Queen reveals her hideous form, a titan of chitin and malice. The biggest boss Manhwa has ever faced. Summon. 4. Armed Destroyer. A devastating punch shatters the very earth. The queen retaliates with fury. Razor-sharp legs pierce through the summon's hide. While the giants clash, Manhwa purges the swarm with cold efficiency. It's time for the finishing move. The summon pins the beast's legs down. One strike to the vitals. The nightmare is finally put to rest. The summon is clearly annoyed. My bad, buddy. I'll make it up to you. A girl crawls from the carcass. You ruined everything, you meddling bastard. A fanatic of the dark gods. Years of planning, crushed by one man. Tell me your true goal. The demoness only spits in defiance. A blade through the shoulder. Agony tends to loosen the most stubborn tongues. Still silent? Then die. System. 1,000 holy power acquired. Kenton has become a funeral pyre. The cowardly lord escaped like a rat. Cultists bicker amidst the ruins. Their god incarnation is dangerously unstable. Extracting souls isn't an easy task. Layla should have been here by now. That pesky archer got away too. Where is that spider-loving bitch? Still playing with her pets? She's probably just bringing back more corpses. Enough. The clock is ticking. Reinforcements will be hunting us down soon. Years of preparation are at stake. We cannot allow this plan to fail. A cultist steps into the light. Asterisk. Swish. Asterisk. Her head falls before she breathes. The man falls next. Bisected before he could even draw a weapon. Only one terrified survivor remains. Speak. Why are you besieging this city? A mass sacrifice for divinity. A sphere of pure, stolen holy power. 3 years of hiding. Only 5 days left until the world ends. They had no choice but to accelerate their desperate plan. Within the suicide squad, one man had already broken the siege. Kamen watched in terror as Manhwa raised his blade once more. What are you doing? She cried. He had to kill it. That bloodthirsty monster had to die before its full awakening. If threatened, it would evolve into a chaotic and uncontrollable state. Manhwa intended to sacrifice the beast to the corrupted mother. He had currently amassed 8,592 holy power. Beyond the heretics, he even drained the Lord's essence. To unlock a new divine cheat, 10,000 points were required. Brute force was useless as the creature regenerated instantly. Every exchange of blows only brought him closer to inevitable defeat. This mountain of flesh lacked a clear weakness like the Spider Queen. Direct combat was a fool's errand for now. Only one strategic option remained. The art of the tactical retreat. After taunting the beast, Manhwa vanished into the shadows. This human is truly insolent. Consumed by rage, the monster gave chase immediately, refusing to let its prey escape alive. While fleeing, Manhwa siphoned holy power from the fallen. The pursuit was relentless, forcing him to summon the 4 hands. Even a corrupted giant wasn't enough to stop the beast's rampage. Manhwa needed to hit 10,000 holy power immediately. He searched for high-tier corpses among the ruins. Only the souls of elite knights could fuel his rapid, godlike ascension. His total reached 9,237. Just a fraction more, and a legendary new power would be his. But the monster crushed the giant and returned faster than expected. Its body had evolved, becoming harder than divine steel. Massive tentacles lashed out, binding Manhwa before slamming him down. It was a devastating strike meant to shatter his soul. Yet, such damage was meaningless to a man with an immortality cheat. Death was merely a stepping stone to his victory. Finally, his holy power surpassed 10,000. He offered it to the corrupted mother, pleading for a new divine authority. Suddenly, the world was swallowed by an absolute, silent darkness. In this void, only Manak and the beast remained. "You'll suffer 1,000 times more than I have," he hissed. Manak had finally unlocked the abyss of corruption. This new domain decomposed every living thing trapped within. Of course, the user himself was not exempt from the rot. Using the script of corruption, he chose which parts would decay first. He wanted to see if regeneration could outpace rot. Moments later, the monster's massive form began to dissolve. The speed of the corruption was far superior to its healing. "Mother, I offer this sacred relic to you," he whispered. "Please, strip away this hollow shell and reveal the truth." After the sacrifice, Manak awoke in a strange, peaceful town. Above him, the sky was a clear and mocking blue. A young girl with bandaged arms stood before him. Could this frail child truly be the form of the mother? "You knew it was me," she whispered. Manak was stunned. Why did a supreme goddess look like a lost child? "Shouldn't you know why?" she replied. Another deity's divinity flowed within that corpse. Manak hungered to absorb it all. Letting such power vanish would be a waste of his potential. "Mother, if it's too much, you don't need to try." The divinities had merged, making them impossible to separate now. It was a pity, but they were out of options. The mother was surprisingly small and delicate. They had finally unsealed her, using the 10,000 divine power points. "What is the meaning of this grace, Mother?" she asked. She implied he could use this power without any limit. That was an absolutely broken cheat. The curse of corruption he received was an evolution nearing the pinnacle of evil. Anything within its range would slowly rot into nothingness. During the battle, Manak had absorbed too many divine strikes. His mortal vessel had finally reached its absolute physical limit. His body was screaming under the pressure of godlike power. When Manak finally opened his eyes, he saw Kamen. "Priest Manak, you've finally returned to us," she cried in relief. Panicking, he asked for his items. Kamen calmly produced a small, bandaged hand relic she had saved for him. "I felt this held a deep meaning for you," she explained. "Others thought it was trash and tried to throw it, but I made sure to get it back." Manak was speechless. "Thank you. I don't know how to repay you." "It's nothing," she smiled. "If not for your sacrifice, I would have died back in the ruins of Kenton." Manak had been unconscious for 10 full days. He was the only person found alive in that ghost town. Elsewhere, a bound man tried to escape his fate. Suddenly, a dagger pierced his leg, ending his flight in agony. His captor was a blue-haired girl with a cold blade. She was the one currently hunting for Manak's whereabouts. Seeing his shattered leg, she decided to help him. "You don't need to walk anymore," she said with malice. Then, she lit a fire to warm him in the winter. What a kind girl. The other prisoners watched in horror. After her charity, she urged the group to move. They had to reach the new territory before night fell. The soldiers stood baffled. Why would this girl surrender these bandits to us? "Lock us up," the bandits begged. 𝒂𝒐𝒓𝒕𝒂𝒍 found a local tavern. She overheard whispers. The legendary priest slayer was nearby. An enemy of evil. A warning came. "She is hunting you. The blue-haired saintess knows you're alive. She won't stop. Her tracking is relentless. She's the strongest Ma has ever faced. Even the Holy Mother fears her. Carmen, we leave Kenton tonight." 2 weeks later, a noble carriage appeared House 𝒎𝒎𝒐𝒓𝒕𝒂𝒍 sigil. The white camellia, a symbol of southern power and secrets. Ma's senses tingled. "A prisoner is hidden inside," he warned. Guards drew blades. "You should have stayed silent and lived. They underestimated our heroes. A fatal mistake for these thugs." Heads rolled instantly. The entire squad was wiped out. 𝒂𝒐𝒓𝒕𝒂𝒍 vomited from the gore. Ma awkwardly comforted the survivor. "I am 𝒂𝒑𝒑𝒑, a highborn lady in a death trap. A noble mage?" Ma expected a spoiled, arrogant brat. "I'm Ma, a humble priest." He hid his godlike power. Paralyzed by gas, she needed help. Her legs were useless. Carmen offered a hand. "I am of the Vant family." She hesitated. "Rumors of us together could ruin your reputation." She was considerate, a rare trait for a high-ranking noble. They were stunned. A kind mage? Truly a miracle. Her brother Deso was the mastermind. A cold-blooded betrayal. A marriage to the Dragon Kingdom, a trap to kill her. Nobles despise mages. To them, she was just a curse. They fear the power and hate the ego of magic users. No manners, only pride. Mages are viewed as walking disasters. Ancient legends tell of mages bringing the world to ruin. The Chaos Era, a dark history no one wants repeated. Fear keeps mages from power. 𝒂𝒎𝒐𝒓𝒕𝒂𝒍 was a political pawn. The meat is burning, Ma interrupted, breaking the somber mood. He gave her the best steak and ate the charcoal. Talk less while cooking, he teased, making the lady pout. Escort me home. I'll pay your weight in pure gold. A legendary reward. The duo couldn't refuse the treasure. They reached a town and secured a third-floor room. Bath first, then feast. The food looked absolutely heavenly. For Ma, it was tasteless. His senses died long ago. Suddenly, thugs harassed a waitress. 𝒂𝒑𝒐𝒓𝒕𝒂𝒍 didn't hesitate. Justice exploded. She sent the thugs flying with one blow. Since childhood, she couldn't ignore someone in need. Ma saw it an uncontrollable, burning soul of righteousness. That night, Ma cornered her. Listen and stay quiet. Your justice is a liability. We are being hunted. Stop playing hero. We must avoid all attention now. Do that again and I'll be forced to break you before handing you over to your pursuers. Understand? Just nod and go to sleep. By dawn, Mana had already tracked the kidnappers to their hidden den. He stood before 𝒎𝒎𝒐𝒓𝒕𝒂𝒍, the legendary leader of the Red Bear mercenaries, who sensed a terrifying, monstrous aura. 𝒎𝒎𝒂𝒍 froze, realizing one wrong move meant certain death. Mana spoke coldly, refusing the mercenaries' fake hospitality. I don't drink with shadows. Your dogs came sniffing around my inn this morning. Start talking before I lose patience. Suddenly, the drunken vice leader stumbled in, barking threats at Mana to surrender the girl or die where he stood. The fool barely finished his sentence before Mana's blade blurred through the air with godlike speed and precision. A severed arm flew as a blood-curdling scream echoed like a slaughtered pig. Mana prepared to finish the job. 𝒎𝒎𝒂𝒍 tried to intervene, but he was nothing against Mana's overwhelming power. The gap in strength was simply absolute. The entire Red Bear squad was annihilated in a one-sided massacre, leaving only a few terrified, lucky survivors. Alone and defeated, 𝒎𝒎𝒂𝒍 surrendered. He confessed the vice leader took the hit, but the client's identity remained hidden. After burying his fallen men, 𝒎𝒎𝒂𝒍 began to lament the hollow, brutal cycle of a mercenary's desperate life. They lived for gold and slaughter, dancing on the razor's edge between life and death every single day. Their souls were empty, possessing no home or family to return to. In the end, they were only weapons. Mana saw potential in the warrior and offered him a lucrative contract. Soon, they returned to the inn. 𝒂𝒑𝒑𝒂𝒍 was horrified to see her former kidnapper standing there. Naturally, her greeting was anything but warm or friendly. She was furious at Mana for acting alone after he'd strictly forbidden her from doing the exact same thing. Mana explained he went solo to spare her from the carnage. He didn't want her witnessing the absolute bloodbath. He feared the sight of 1,000 corpses would shatter her spirit, just like her traumatic breakdown before. Kamen returned to find the enemy casually eating dinner with them, leaving him completely baffled and utterly confused. Mana ignored the tension and calmly announced that 𝒎𝒎𝒂𝒍 was now a permanent member of their elite squad. Elsewhere, a purple-haired girl was throwing a violent tantrum, screaming questions at the empty air in a rage. She thrashed on the ground, demanding to know when the chosen one would finally appear before she snapped. Her companion reassured her that he was approaching 𝒎𝒏𝒄𝒏 soon, having tracked his movements with perfect, unerring accuracy. Is he really coming to 𝒎𝒏𝒄𝒏? I've told you 100 times already. Have a little faith for once, girl. Fine. I'll believe you for now. But if he doesn't show, I'll personally tear your soul apart today. Meanwhile, 𝒂𝒑𝒂𝒍 was beaming with joy. After days of grueling travel, they had finally reached the city of 𝒎𝒏𝒄𝒏. She dreamed of hot springs. But as they entered, a desperate man begged Mana to stop a dark omen. A resurrection trumpeter was haunting the woods, tirelessly raising an army of the dead every single night. The walking corpses terrorized the villagers, leaving them in constant fear. Mana agreed to investigate the strange phenomenon. He sent the others to rest while he ventured out alone. The trumpeter was a rare, specialized class. Unlike holy priests who receive power from saints, these individuals are chosen by a much darker, ancient force. When the horn of death echoes, it means a devil has bestowed its forbidden strength upon a random mortal. These chosen ones become resurrection trumpeters, cursed to live only for the dead rather than the living world. Their motives are a complete mystery. They simply seek out mass graves to begin their grim, eternal melodies. Using silent horns, they command legions of corpses, wandering the world as the masters of an undead army. Even powerful rulers fear them, as no one dares to challenge a commander whose soldiers never truly die. Facing an army that infinitely scales with every death is a nightmare no sane warrior would ever choose. Ostracized and alone, these trumpeters are forced to dwell among the rotting deceased for the rest of time. It is an unstoppable force of nature. Finally, Mana came face to face with the silent, hooded figure. "Hello there. I think it's time you left this place. Your walking puppets are bothering the locals quite a bit." Mana questioned if the wanderer had a hidden motive, since trumpeters rarely stayed in one location for long. The figure remained silent, a chilling pressure emanating from his form. Then, a hollow, emotionless voice finally spoke. He spoke of those who worship the wicked spirits, the true shadows lurking behind this veil of eternal death. The atmosphere turned frigid as the trumpeter revealed the dark truth about the worshippers of the evil Ta Lin. A harbinger of doom descends upon Irad. The hunters of evil spirits have begun their move. The piper has played his melody of death. Suddenly, a crimson pillar of light pierced the abyss of the night. The source of this malevolent glow? The very heart of the city, the central district. Stop blaming her. You said he was coming, so where is he? Just wait. I sense a monster approaching. He finally appeared, the demon-slaying priest, Manak. To think we'd reunite in a wretched place like this. Cool your head, mother. I heard your insults, but I'll let it slide once. You know why I'm here. That cursed mage is my target. The one who slaughtered my savior and murdered me in my past life. Flashback. Manak lay broken in a frozen, desolate forest, buried under a mountain of merciless snow. In those days, I was drowning in despair. Each day was a brutal struggle just to survive until the next sunrise. I reached my breaking point. Starving and dying, a massive blizzard threatened to swallow me whole. That's when my savior appeared. Santos and I met in the eye of that storm. He was a middle-aged man, easygoing yet strangely dignified. When I woke, Santos asked for nothing. No interrogation, no demands. He just gave me a choice. Stay as long as you like, or leave when you're ready. He was a humble priest serving at a lonely cemetery. One day, while working, I asked him, "Why did you save a wretch like me?" He simply smiled. "Because I wanted to." That warm smile burned itself into the depths of my soul. Santos lived to help others, believing kindness needs no reason. I dreamed of becoming a man just like him. But fate is a cruel mistress. After 1 year of peace, the biting winter returned, bringing a new encounter. I found a man dying in the snow, just as I once had. I chose to pay the kindness forward. It was the greatest mistake of my life. I should have let that monster rot in the frozen wasteland. I nursed him back to health, only for him to show his true colors with a twisted, demonic grin. He was a worshipper of evil spirits. He struck me down with dark magic, but then something awakened within me. A spectral hand emerged, shielding me and gently caressing my cheek before the world dissolved into chaos. That cursed mage. He murdered Santos in cold blood. I remember you now. The little gravedigger from the cemetery. Weren't you supposed to be dead? I killed you with my own hands. Then, he noticed the priest's robes. A priest now? Thanks for saving me back then, but I'll happily cut you down again. Manak. They say you're strong. I've been waiting. Before she could finish, her head hit the cold ground. Manak lunged like a predator, instantly severing the mage's arm. But the bastard wasn't finished yet. With a thunderous stomp, an explosion blasted Manak back. That holy power, it's not from the goddess, is it? That robe is just a shroud for your darkness. You're using it well, but it doesn't hide who you are. You're just like me, a seeker of evil spirits. Your power, it's absolutely intoxicating. Show me more, don't you dare disappoint me tonight. I'll relish killing you, Riverkel. Elsewhere, the trio was locked in a desperate struggle against an endless legion of the undead. We must reach the Lord's manor. Is Manak okay? He wouldn't fall this easily, would he? Focus, we need shelter first. They fought their way toward the city gates, desperate to survive the night. Suddenly, Sarita froze. In the distance, behind the undead army, a massive shadow loomed. A four-armed monstrosity, Manak's corrupted pet. The girl he decapitated was back, fueled by pure malice. So impatient. No one likes a hot head. I'm just so curious about him, you know? If you love evil spirits that much, we'll have plenty to talk about. I've waited so long for this. Riverkel mocked Manak. Is that all you've got? This is child's play. Let me cool your head. But before he could finish his boast, a flash of light sliced through the air, taking his head with it. A spear! Manak realized someone had intervened. The one who threw it was none other than Sagitta. He thought it was over, but Riverkel's headless corpse began to radiate a terrifying, corrupt holy light. He was still alive. Manak stood his ground, clutching the severed arm of his mortal enemy. We failed. There's no point in fighting. Retreat. What? I wanted to see more. Do it again. Please, just one more time. Are you insane? He's lost every shred of his humanity. Silence, Monax roared, pinning them down. One more word and I'll end you myself. These two girls thought they could flee, but escaping Monax is a fool's errand. I'm Ply, she's Benna, one stammered. They belong to Libero, a cult worshipping ancient, dark spirits. Remember those thugs at Kenton? Same group. They were obsessed with Ma Nax's legendary power. They wanted to see his true strength. How many more of you rats are hiding? I don't know, Benna shrieked. Riverkel knows. He's the one the cult sent here. Their goal was simple, a world without oppression where any dark god could be worshipped. To build their utopia, they'd burn everything. Riverkel's destruction was just the beginning. They weren't just killing, they were hunting a divine relic hidden within this very realm, a pearl, once part of a god's body. Ma Nax realized his darkest suspicions were true. They sought the seal that once suppressed the corrupted mother's catastrophic, world-ending power. The pearl is shattered, Ma Nax stated, but they refused to believe the seal was broken. It's gone, he repeated. The fragments are in Kenton. Is that all you're hunting? There are 4 more, Ply blurted. The mother's rage is waking. You can't stop it. Benna snapped. You idiot. Why tell him everything? But the realization came too late. */ Ma Nax ended Benna instantly. As he absorbed her holy energy, she turned to ash. But Ply's corpse remained. Still alive? Ma Nax mused. Her survival skill was truly troublesome. He pushed the thought aside. With the cultist dead, a heavy silence settled over his soul. Suddenly, the ghouls collapsed. Was that your doing? His companion asked, stunned by his aura. You saved me again, she whispered, unable to grasp the scale of his overwhelming strength. We need to move. A chilling dread washed over them. Something ancient and foul was stirring. What now? Cayman gasped. Then, the earth trembled. A mountain of rotting flesh arose. An abomination stitched from thousands of corpses crawled toward them with sickening, unnatural speed. Even in death. You're revolting, Ma Nax hissed, watching the corpses merge into a titan. This was pure, unadulterated evil. Hold the line, Ma Nax commanded. I'll buy us time. Is someone coming? They asked. Ma Nax nodded. A powerful presence was fast approaching. From the mist emerged the resurrection trumpeter, the legendary master of the Undying Legion himself. With one blast of his horn, his zombies surged forward, tearing into the giant's flesh. The beast roared in agony. Listen, the trumpeter called. One of you must strike now. Take this holy spear, pierce the heart of that nightmare. He signaled the strongest warrior. Got a spare sword? Ma Nax asked. The trumpeter stared. You're asking for gear now? 2 swords and a bow, actually. Even a legendary summoner loses words with this MC. Fine. Take it all. He tossed weapons forged in heaven, glowing with divine light. These weren't ordinary blades. They were resurrection weapons, designed specifically to slay the undying. I'll stall the Colossus. Use that spear to end its miserable life once and for all. The zombies were relentless, ripping chunks of rot from the monster as it struggled. As the outer flesh decayed, the beast's core was exposed. It was a cycle of regeneration. The shell is gone. Don't look for the heart, the spear will find its own way. With legendary weapons in hand, the team charged. The final clash against the Titan began. The monster was paralyzed. Keep it pinned, they yelled, as 𝒎𝒕a prepared the killing blow. Distract it. Ma Nax didn't aim for the heart. He aimed for the monster's head. He sensed a burst of holy energy there. And that face. It looked like Riverkel. I'll tear that face apart. Ma Nax's fury exploded into a devastating, god-slaying strike. Simultaneously, 𝒎𝒕a found the opening. He lunged, driving the holy spear into the core. The light exploded. The giant's body dissolved into nothingness. The nightmare was finally over, dissolved into foul black sludge. Santos, your vengeance is finally complete. The battle ends. The beast falls. Suddenly, the resurrection trumpeter demands a private word with Ma Nax. Why me? Did he see the gem? Does he know I serve the evil god? Is my identity exposed? No, he warns of a shadow approaching the capital. Purge Erod using the undead? Saving the living isn't my divine duty. Locate the survivors. Is that the only task you require of me? Escort them to safety. If you find food stockpiles, bring them here immediately, before they burn. One more thing. Can you extinguish these raging flames? Ma Nax bristles at the constant requests. The trumpeter departs with his army, guided toward eternal rest. As expected, the priest's charisma moved everyone. I doubted he would help. Thank you. You are truly my savior. That night, Ma Nax returns. Mother Lolly toys with the crimson monster gem. A capital relic exists. He must have sensed the corruption within the gem. Mother, do you know this god? No one knows. And no one cares. Enraged, Mother slams the gem down. This holy power refuses to dissipate. Don't worry, Mother will purify it. But throwing things is a bad habit. Stop this, and you'd be thrice as charming. Does that make me attractive? Not exactly. But listen, I already love your unique, adorable nature. Whether thrice or 100 times, you are perfect. No more littering. Have you heard? Evil spirit cults are spreading like a plague everywhere, from the Eastern Dragon Realm to the West, across all 4 empires. Kenton and Arid suffered greatly. But a mysterious hero slaughtered every cultist. That savior is the demon priest, Ma-Nak. The journey resumes tomorrow. Bandits ambush the group. Ma-Nak massacres them all. 0 survivors remain. Souls for Mother. Holy power reaches 3,379. Slaying scum fuels my growth. Priest, why do you never spare them? This isn't a lecture. I just want to know your true reasons. You don't have to answer. Did you ask Kamen and Sarita first? Kamen kills to protect the weak. He grants them no mercy. Sarita is a mercenary. For gold, he will end any life required. I believe in potential. They might repent, or they might kill again. So I end the cycle. Death is merely a fresh start for them. I don't understand. Do we truly have the right to judge lives? No, God grants that right. I don't kill to play judge or jury. I choose responsibility. Sparing evil only invites more innocent blood and tears. I will not let others suffer for my mercy. I carry the karma. This is my choice. The price of slaughter will eventually find me. Regardless of the cost, I won't stop. Sparing a killer is a sin. It's a nightmare I refuse to relive. I made a solemn promise. No villain escapes my blade. Now, tell me about your past. If it's too painful, forget it. Everything is out in the open. Perhaps another time. Through the snow, a massive merchant caravan appears. A golden opportunity. We can sell the loot scavenged from those bandits. Trudging through the frozen wasteland, a massive merchant caravan appears. For a rising god, this is pure opportunity. A caravan this size means endless gold. It is finally time to sell off the gear stripped from their enemies. This Odom metal is truly a masterpiece, forged from the long-lost essence of the ancient empire's engineering. For a moment, even I lost my composure. Seeing a blade with such high Odom density is unheard of. Could this be the metal of legends? It is far beyond ordinary Odom, with purity levels reaching the impossible. This single blade holds twice the metal I have painstakingly collected over 120 years. I must have it. Name your price. I will pay anything. But the main character simply scoffs this legendary steel is not for sale. If you won't sell, then listen to my proposal. I invited you here to hire your group as elite guards. We are heading to the Northern Kingdom, and who better than the legendary savior of Arad, the hero Ma-Nak. Your reputation precedes you, Priest Ma-Nak. It would be a supreme honor to have your strength on our side. Travel with us and you will live in luxury. Even the mercenaries under your command will receive VIP treatment. Ma-Nak remains cold, requesting time to deliberate. The merchant bows, desperately hoping for a favorable answer. That night, Ma-Nak attends to Mother Lolly in their tent. He gently massages her shoulders, ensuring her comfort. I have accepted the contract, Mother. Once we are paid, we will secure the finest accommodations in the capital. Suddenly, a blood-curdling scream pierces the silence. Outside, the merchant's caravan is under siege by massive, demonic bats. With razor-sharp fangs and glowing crimson eyes, the swarm descends. Ma-Nak's group immediately leaps into the fray. Dakia prepares a devastating mana blast, but Ma-Nak moves like a flash, slaughtering the beast before she can strike. Restrain yourself. In this chaos, an uncontrolled mage is more dangerous than the enemy's spear. Stay focused. Dakia pouts, claiming the target was too large to miss. But Ma-Nak's combat intuition is on another level. These creatures are unpredictable in the air. One slip of your hand and our allies would be incinerated instantly. Suppress your magic for now. Ma-Nak then enters the merchant's tent, his blade still dripping with fresh blood. The merchant trembles. Will you put that terrifying weapon down? Ma-Nak's gaze is colder than the steel he holds. That depends on your honesty. Why are the worshippers of the evil spirit hunting your caravan like starving wolves? Would you believe me if I said I didn't know? Ma-Nak's silence is a threat, forcing the merchant's hand. Fine, I will trust your legendary name. But this secret stays between us. Ma-Nak agrees he is just a mercenary. The cultists began their relentless pursuit the moment I took possession of a certain mysterious object. We were ordered to deliver it to the capital. Ma-Nak realizes the merchant is being used as bait. You've suffered heavy losses. Why not abandon it? The merchant admits he was paid in rare, priceless metals. They promised even more upon arrival. Even another priest couldn't identify this item. Then, he reveals the prize. It is a holy relic, pulsing with the divine power of the corrupted mother. This is why the cultists attack. They are drawn to this power like moths to a flame. But wait, Mother's severed hand is right here with Manhwa. If the cultists can't sense Mother's hand, how did they track this relic? Manhwa demands a new deal. You hid the danger, so the price of my protection has just skyrocketed. We are renegotiating the contract right now. Double the original payment. Manhwa notices the guard's armor is scarred from previous battles they were already losing. We are heading the same way. Even if we refuse, the cultists will ambush us anyway. We might as well profit. Everyone, rest up. Tomorrow is a long journey. But in the shadows, Manhwa and Mother plot something devious. Mother wants him to steal the relic. Manhwa worries about the risk, but she has a perfect plan. No witnesses, no crime. Manhwa smiles. His mother sounds more like a cold-blooded assassin than a goddess. Let the cultists steal it first. In the ensuing chaos, Manhwa will devour the holy power and return the shell. You're getting quite good at hiding your sinister nature, Manhwa. Suddenly, a sentry screams. Ambush! Monsters are everywhere, led by a ferocious 𝒂𝒐𝒂𝒍 beast lunging from the dark. Manhwa cuts it down in a single heartbeat, but as the dust settles, a dark shadow zips toward his throat. He catches the attacker by the neck. It's Pi, the purple-haired girl he's already decapitated twice. She's still alive. Hello again, Master. I've missed you so much. Pi grins. Seemingly immortal, despite Manhwa's previous lethal strikes. He doesn't remember her at all. He has questions, but she wants a reward for her answers. What is her game? After a brief, mysterious exchange, Manhwa returns to the battlefield, wiping out the remaining monsters with ease. As the last beast flees into the woods, Manhwa signals his team. He's going in for the final kill. Instead of returning, Manhwa ventures deeper into the forbidden woods to find Pei sulking atop the high branches. She is furious after waiting for hours. Fulfill my demands now, she snarls. Answer my questions first, he commands. How many dark cultists are lurking in these shadows? 3. She sighs. Counting me. Though they treat me like air. Honestly, their disrespect is reaching new levels. He nods coldly. They truly are a group of arrogant fools then. Precisely. So why ambush the merchants? The necklace. Their target is the leader's mysterious and ancient artifact. The order came from the Liberate Secret Society. You mean that forbidden cult of shadow-worshipping fanatics? Correct. But wait. Aren't you a member too? Is this some pathetic internal power struggle within your ranks? Not exactly. It was just a minor disagreement though, honestly. I have already forgotten the reason for our spat. I remain neutral. I only move for gold or specific offerings. And what exactly do you consider an offering? Exotic materials for my lethal dolls. I am the priestess of puppets. Our epic journey ends here for today. Thank you for watching. See you in the next legendary chapter.